Welcome back to Brush Up Your Game. I'm David, and today, something not game related, but a Star Trek bracket matchup. I thought this might be fun. It takes characters from all the Star Trek universe, tosses them in a bracket, and I just thought this might be a nice little addition. Captain Kirk versus the Duras sisters. Kirk. How can you go wrong there? Ooh, Barclay versus Garrick. If we're talking like season 1, season 2 Garrick, this would have gone to Barclay, but late season Garrick. Definitely there. Geordi versus Seven. Ooh. Based solely on Voyager, it would have gone to Geordi. But what we saw in Picard, I think I'm going to give the edge here to 7 of 9. B'Elanna versus Riker. B'Elanna's interesting, but Riker's just awesome. Harry Kim versus Dr. McCoy. I'm sorry, if you can't manage to get promoted from ensign in the entire time you're there, you don't deserve it, and McCoy is a legend. Sarek versus Nog. Sarek, important to two shows, but Nog showed true character development, going from a miscreant all the way up to an important ensign, and I really like what Nog brought to the show. Ooh, Jadzia Dax versus the Doctor. Honestly, two of my favorite like non-leading characters, non-captain characters in all of Star Trek. But the Doctor is iconic for everything that he built, and I felt like the Doctor got better treatment in the show. I just like what he brings. Data versus Keiko. Keiko, interesting, but you're asking me to compare a main versus somebody who was basically there just to torment Miles. So Data moves on. Q versus Kes. I think Kes does get a bad rap, but Q is fantastic. Scotty versus Loxana. I do enjoy Loxana. I actually don't like despise her episodes, but again, it's Scotty. Chekhov versus Tasha. Both characters that didn't get tons of love, but Chekhov definitely grew on me a lot more than Tasha. And Ooh, Miles versus Phlox. I'm a big fan of Phlox. I like the knowledge he brought to Enterprise. He really collected that crew, brought them together. Miles, fun. I'm giving the edge to Phlox though. Miles is good. Tom Paris, historian. I kind of feel like he was the piece that we as the audience could relate to. But Gul Dukat is just a fantastic villain. Rom, I don't have great memories with Rom. And Deanna, well, she was always a friend there. Dr. Pulaski, I think could have been much more interesting if she'd gotten more than a season. And it was a shame they didn't bring her back in any way, shape, or form. Chakotay, never truly my favorite. He was interesting, but I found like the episodes that focused on him to be rather annoying. So he's going to advance for now, but not for long. I'm going to assume this is Captain Picard. Neelix, I do like Neelix. I think Neelix brought a needed, funny humor aspect to a show that could have been far too dark, but I'm going Captain Picard. All right. Kirk versus Garrick. Kirk does have more intrigue. Well, Garrick really has the intrigue. Garrick has a lot going for him. Don't get me wrong. Kirk knows how to lead. Kirk knows how to set an example. He was out there in the midst of nowhere. I'm giving it to Garrick, though. Garrick for an intriguing character. Riker set the example of how to be a first officer. I'm giving it to Riker. McCoy versus Nog. We're going McCoy here. The Doctor versus Data. Ooh. I like Data more. They're both really good, but I like Data more. Scotty versus Q. Scotty versus Q. Scotty had really good moments. I think he got better as the show went on. Q, though, Q was there for very important moments. Phlox versus Chekhov. I'm giving it to Phlox. Deanna versus Gul Dukat. Gul Dukat has more layers to him. And Picard versus Chakotay. This is no contest. Picard's moving on. Garrick versus Riker. One Riker. And Data versus McCoy. I'd rather have Data on my side. Q versus Phlox. I guess I'm going Q. And Picard versus Dukat. I have a feeling Picard wouldn't have put up with the BS that Dukat got away with. So we're going Picard. Data versus Riker. I do think Riker had Riker was a better guide, but the growth that Data showed in all things makes him better. And Picard versus Q. We're going Picard. Picard versus Data. Ugh. I don't like this, but I'm going Picard. Oh, there's a whole other half to the bracket. Wow. Okay. That's not the way I thought this would go. Janeway broke some barriers, but Uhura, I like Uhura a whole lot more. The Borg Queen versus Bashir. Bashir, good character, but the Borg Queen, even better. Pike versus Tuvok. Until Strange New Worlds, this would have gone Tuvok's way, but Pike, with new stuff, much better. Beverly Crusher versus Wayoon. I like Wayoon. I mean, I don't like him, but I respect him. This is Khan over the Traveler. Hoshi versus Sulu. We're going Sulu here. Hoshi, intriguing. Don't get me wrong. Quark versus Jake. Very easy decision to go for Quark. Archer versus Spock. I do like Archer, but Spock, again, more there. Worf versus Reed. Both tactical officers. I respect Reed. I really do. But Worf, much more dynamic of a character. Trip versus Kira. Or not Trip. Travis. Wow. Oh, Travis. See, they developed Kira's character more, and I just respect that more. Lore versus Porthos. Yeah, we'll give a vote to the dog. Odo versus Gowron. I just respect Odo. Guinan versus T'Pol. We're here for Guinan. Thomas Riker versus Martok. Thomas Riker, who appeared in 2 episodes? Martok, much more intriguing. Ro Lauren versus Wesley. Both finally got their resolutions in Picard. Although I do prefer book canon where Ro takes over the command of DS9. You know what? We'll give it to Ro. And Trip versus Ben Sisko. I do like Trip. I think Trip might be my second favorite Enterprise character. Phlox being my favorite, but Ben Sisko. All right. Uhura versus the Borg Queen. See, I've never been one to truly connect with Uhura. Not that she's a bad character in any way. I think she's a great character. I just, I'm not. I respect her. I respect Nichelle Nichols, but I'm going Borg Queen. Pike over Wayoon, I think, is how I'm going here. Just more fun. Khan over Sulu for sure. Quark versus Spock. Spock means more to me. And Worf, definitely more dynamic than Kira. We see that in DS9. Odo does beat Porthos. I mean, Porthos is fun, don't get me wrong. But I think Martok's going to have to beat Guinan here. And Ben Sisko is going to take out Rolaren. Pike versus the Borg Queen. You know what? I'm going Borg Queen. And Khan versus Spock. I mean, ultimately, Wrath of Khan showed us Spock defeats Khan. Yeah, we'll stick with that. Worf and Odo. I'm going Worf. I like Worf better. And I'll go Martok over Sisko. The Borg Queen versus Spock. I don't know. I do like both. But I think Spock just means more, and Martok wouldn't be as valuable as he is without Worf by his side. And then we have Spock versus Worf. I'm going Spock, which leaves us with Picard versus Spock. I'm taking Picard. It's yeah. I don't know. It's a tough bracket here. I mean, anything comparing all these characters is just tough. They're all. Star Trek is full of interesting, important characters, but yeah, I think that's just how we're going. I don't know. It's telling that my final four is Picard, Data, Worf, and Spock. I'm an X-Gen fan, and then DS9, and I think that kind of shows up. So, anyway, if you come across challenges like this, brackets like this, I love ranking things. I love matching things up. Send me a link, toss them out here. I'll do these as random bonus content, and we'll have fun with it. So, anyway, thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. And until next time, keep brushing up your game. Take care.